Hello, everyone. Thanks to the power of the internet, I get to talk with you. And the day has come that I never thought was possible. Mythiarq is getting support. Doubt it, it's only about 3 cards. However, I think they actually nailed what Mythiarq kind of needed. It's still under testing in my head and will need further exploit, but I think it could be a rogue deck. Because let's look at this. So we have Marish over here, who, when it's placed on the rear guard by the ability of a card with Mythiarq, which a lot of them say, hey, bring back to hand, play a different one. So it's really good in that way. Counterblast 1, draw a card. Most of the Mythiarq say this, so that's pretty for the norm. Until the end of this turn, during the battle, where this unit attacked, if your opponent would call a card from hand to guard, they gotta do 2 or more. This is pretty good. This is strong. This is solid, considering Mythiarq is a big swing attack, swing 1, swing 2, bring 1 back, play it down. It's a 4-attack attack. So, having the guard restrict is actually pretty cool, especially because your opponent might not always know you have it in hand. Going on, though, this thing, Mythiarq Limsy. Holy shit. Do I love this thing. So let's look at it. Drop. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Mythiarq is placed during your ride phase, perform one of the following. If you don't have a unit with this card name, you do. You can call it from drop. Or if you already have someone with the same card name as it, you can put it on the bottom of the deck, draw 1. That's great recycling. Holy. I wish more Stochaic cards could actually do this, where it's like, oh, do this or this. If you have the card or don't. And then, continuous in the back row, your opponent's grade 3 or greater, all front new units with Mythiarq in their card name get power plus 5k. Because, this is such a xenophobic deck, most, if not all, your cards will say Mythiarq. So you could have 3 of these in your back row and just be getting plus 15k. Oh, that's so good. Such a good feeling. And we got one more card over here. Porcicule, or however you pronounce it. If for your Vanguard's effect, when it goes counting your rear guards, this one is considered 2. That's pretty good. And if you have a full field of Mythiarq, it gets power plus 10k. So if we look at a normal Mythiarq deck, you have the ride line and everything. You have the energy cyclers from DZ-1. You have the multi-attack promo. Of course, this is your Godsend Order Bracing Angel Ladder, because you are a deck that needs its rear guard, so if something just goes retire, you're like, GG, no re, you get the game, I'm not recovering. So one thing for sure is this thing is gone, because not only do you get more value from Limsy, it does the same thing but better. It's just a continuous that's always there and, can stack with itself. This thing just says 5k to the same thing in the column if you bounce something. So that's an immediate 3 of for Limsy. The guard restrict, though, I would definitely get rid of, all your Lumantras. The ride line is good and all, but your opponent not being able to intercept with it until end of turn isn't so good. I preferred where we ran the Counterblast Cycler, because it at least stunned something as well, where it couldn't restand and intercept. I get that this is part of the ride line, so you have to check and balance it somehow, but I would get rid of that for 1 of. I would probably also kick back this to 2. Well, 3, I should say. Because guard restricts are really awesome. But you still need this thing. This is a very key piece to get more attacks. And of course, you need your multi-attacker. I have the red OT because it gets you a draw, but also it gets you yet another attack if you plan your order of operations right. And you know, you have a re-standard too, so it would really benefit from a red OT. Though I think the yellow OT could also fit in this deck, one of the few that actually could run it. Mainly because it's doing the same thing the red OT does, guarantees at least one of your units hits, and your Vanguard hits now, but also it draws you 3 cards, and you need a lot of Mythiarq in hand to actually play the deck. Now the real question is Porcupine, because it is a 13k, gets 10k, and is considered 2. My question is running it against or with this grade 3, because this one is a counterblast, draw a card, and you get 5k, which is still pretty good, but I don't know which one is technically better. So that's one of the reasons why I'm like, hey, I still got to test things out a little bit, because these were just released, so there's not much I can do. Because obviously you're not going to cut your countercharger, because counterblast to use its effect, to discard for your opponents from hand, counterblast to draw, you're using that for energy. You're eventually going to run out of counterblast, but weighing options, considering we're also now adding this, which goes to soul, this that uses your counterblast, so debates everywhere. But yeah, Mythiarq got support. I never thought I'd see the day. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this gets more people playing Mythiarq, because now we're a competent deck. We can do something outside of just the one promo.